Hello and welcome back to another episode of Into the 99, where we've got 99 cards because Commander's number one. I am one of your hosts, Daniel. I am joined today with both Slothy and Brian. Slothy, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm not too bad, thanks. How about yourself?
I've had better weeks, but I'm happy to be chatting Magic. So hopefully we get some great conversations in today. And Brian, how are you?
Amazed with you two. Slothy sounds like he's dying, and Daniel's had the rough week, and he sounds more alive.
Yeah, I'm finally not as sick. That's pretty wonderful, at least, right? Small miracle.
And that intro's tight.
It is really nice. The new song I enjoy a lot. I feel like it goes too long, but it's a great song. We debuted that on the Patreon. Yeah, I could cut it, but I won't. I simply couldn't. I'll roll it back 10 times this episode. This week,
don't test them.
This week we're going to talk about one of the new Wilds of Eldraine commanders. There's a few cards from Wilds of Eldraine in it, so you couldn't technically build this deck yet, unless you have like a good old printer going, which I do. So yeah, sometimes I got a printer. I can make stickers. I do it for my labels for my company. So we have this on a basic land, and that's how we're testing it so far.
Makes sense.
Yes, and basic land, Hylda's rocking it.
Oh, I can understand why it's so budget now.
Yeah, right. This deck's like 13 cents. It actually is a really, really budget deck. The list will be in the description. This deck, before I even get into it or what it does, it's a $63 deck.
I didn't even see the dollar value, but that is amazing.
Yeah, who can build like that? It also is
normally.
It's an under salty deck, and it's not. This is obnoxious. Every part of this deck, I got one spell table game with it, and it was pretty brutal. It's pretty rough. I'll just say that in advance. This the salt sum is maybe not the right one.
So what, EDH rec or no? Who controls the salt? They might need to go back to the calculator.
Yeah, well, it's because it's full of, like I always build with, it's full of garbage cards no one plays.
Yeah, so no one's
but
it.
These garbage cards really, really go off in this setting. So yeah, right now I'll get into like Hylda. Great.
Just before, I just want to say thank you to those in our community who reached out and helped us find Daniel.
Yes.
He did come around that pile of howling mines a little bit earlier on. He was snooping, and we got him in a skunk trap. It's just skunk trap. I don't know how he fit in it, but he did. Yeah. Now we got him back.
I found the pile of howling mines. I used the pile of howling mines. Now we need more howling mines. Yeah, that
is a hot commodity around here.
Yeah, right. There isn't any. Again, last before I promise. If you like what we're doing, definitely share, subscribe, tell your friends about it. Come tell me personally what you would do to make this deck better. And I know there's lots of things you could do. I know
with the ego play.
I know
there's nothing that could be better.
You could put a lot of much better things in here, but it's really, really good. So yeah, come tell me. And yeah, if you want to chat deck building with us, I nonstop build decks. Brian's been building a lot.
How many did you just build?
I've got 44 that I'm sleeving right now, and it's a problem because I don't have 44 sets of sleeves. Got to go get more sleeves.
I think you should start double sleeving these soon.
See, here's the problem.
Yeah.
Though. You go to get sleeves. Where do you go to get sleeves? You go to the game store. What does the game store have? It has more cards.
More cards.
And then I'm like, I'm already going in. I might as well pick up a few more things. There's so far out of the Wilds of Eldraine. I keep trying to say Woes of Eldraine because that's its set code, and I hate it. It's Woes, yeah. But Wilds of Eldraine.
The Woes.
Yeah, the Woes are how many legends I like in this so far.
Is it Womp Womp? Like
Womp Womp. There's a lot, but that's what I'm saying. I go in, I get more sleeves, I build a few more. The Immoden we were talking about earlier. That's a pretty crazy card. But yeah, I'm gonna get into this. This is a really budget-friendly deck because of how the commander functions. And it's just a deck based on tapping things, which is really annoying and obnoxious.
It's the basic lands.
Yeah, it's mostly above board. Hylda is a 2 colorless, 1 white, 1 blue commander. It's a 3/4 human warlock, which is an odd secondary tribe. Whenever you tap an untapped creature an opponent controls, you can pay 1, and then when you do, you choose 1. You can create a 4/4 blue and white elemental creature token. You can put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control, or you can scry 2 and draw a card. That is an insane amount of utility in the command zone.
That's a big creature token to make too.
It's a very big creature token to make for 1 mana. And we're going to keep that in mind going through the list, that pretty much all of these cards I play with lots of stacks players. They're animals. You guys talked a little bit about Brian's stacks deck. They're all animals. So I'm looking at this as I'm taxing myself and just creating an unreasonable amount of 4/4 tokens. There's a pretty unreasonable amount of cards that just tap things, just passively just tap stuff. And you can flood the board so fast with tokens. You can fix any mana problems you're going to have or draw to your answers with that scry 2 draw card for 1 ability stable to your commander. Like, that's insane. And then you have a Cathar's Crusade type ability from the command zone.
Just saw that too.
The 1/1 on each creature. Even if this was printed as a 1/1 on target creature when you tap something, I'd be like, hey, that's a really strong ability. But this is cracked. This is insane.
For 4.
Yeah.
Cathar's Crusades, what, 5 or 6?
Well, exactly. And you have access to all of it. I love commanders that draw. I love commanders that enter the battlefield. We don't have any enter the battlefield here, but we have such utility. And that's why I loved this commander. The moment I saw this, I had a Timon and Rhoda deck. Timon and Rhoda are in this deck as well. I put another one in it. And I was like, I'm just going to turn my Timon and Rhoda into this. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to build another one. So I started putting it together with just extra cards I had, extra stuff. And it's just really, really fun to play. It really, really functions very well because that ability takes colorless mana. So we've slammed in an aggressive ramp package, which means that there's no problem paying for any of this and stuff. You're going to have a lot. We're going to jump right into artifacts here. We have 16 artifacts and 15 of them are rocks.
Yeah.
We don't play around with mana here.
I like it.
Yeah. Sloth, do you want to take this first weird card?
I've never seen this.
First one we've got is Angel's Trumpet, 3 mana. Attacking does not cause creatures to tap. And at the end of each player's turn, tap all untapped creatures they control that didn't attack this turn. And Angel's Trumpet deals 1 damage to that player for each creature tapped this way.
I love the force combat.
Interesting.
Yeah. So you don't have to attack, but if you try and save your things from attacking, you're going to force tap them, and I'm going to be able to trigger Hylda across your board.
Yeah, that's cool.
Brian doesn't want his Seedborn to die. He doesn't attack with it. That's fine. It taps. It's going to untap, but its tap is going to cost me a ability to pay 1 and make a 4/4. And we're going to repeat that across so many things. This deck, I was like, you know what? These are cool abilities. This floods out tokens faster than a Risk the Redeem deck. It's absurd.
I'm really excited to see this deck, like when we play it, because
you can substantially upgrade it. I'll tell you right now, at a $60 list, we're not rocking Mondrak. We don't have an Anointed Procession. I know, shocker, but there's really, really good stuff you could put in this deck. It's insane. If you were to upgrade it with Sakashima that makes a partner, so that you could double up on that ability to pay trigger, that's great. Again, a 1/1 counter across your army of tokens is just insane. You can realistically go from, if I've got 5 open mana, I can go to, if Brian taps down 5 things, I can make 3 creatures and make them 6/6s. I can, for 5 mana, have 3 6/6s just passively.
Yeah, I was just sitting there thinking, even if you're going up against another token deck, if you force them to tap down like 10 creatures,
you're gonna see a pretty repeated theme in this one. I think you guys are gonna like this. So yeah, we'll start into our box of rocks, is what I should have named this section.
We've got of rocks.
Yeah, we've got an Arcane Signet. It's just we've got a lot of 2-drops in here, and I've been building a lot with the 3-drop ones. But again, we don't need color fixing. It's 4 mana. We need to have an ideal opener is 1 white, 1 blue in this deck, and we're set. We're ready to go.
Absolutely hate you seeing the Decanter Isles Waters.
I have them all.
I want some.
I have them all. They're all mine. That's the other thing. You have so much ability to refill your hand that you need no max hand size cards in this deck. Because again, like I said, if I'm able to tap 5-year creatures with that, and I've got 5 end step, you're the next player. That's just a scry 10 draw 5. That's a pretty aggressive dig. That's looking through over 10% of your total deck. Under 10% if you count how I sleep, but so into our first box of rocks, we have an Arcane Signet. You tap, you add 1 mana. Simple 2 mana stuff.
Simple, man. Then we have the Azorius Locket, 3 colorless. Tap to add a white or a blue, and you can tap hybrid 4. Sacrifice the Azorius Locket, draw 2 cards.
Yeah,
I love these. I think we've been harping on them for like months now.
The Lockets, yeah.
Then we've got the Azorius Signet, 2 mana, pay 1 tap, add white blue.
Yeah. Again, we're just aggressively ramping. We don't care what the mana is. We just want the mana. We need the goods.
That sounds like Azorius just overall.
It's a lot of Azorius. Yep. We got a Commander Sphere, just 3 mana, tap for 1. You sack it to draw a card. I haven't. So again, I've only got a game in with this so far. Depending when I work later, I may be playing later as well. And if I do, I'm gonna play this version and see. But I didn't really find drawing to be an issue in this.
Doesn't seem like it would.
No, it's having it on your commander as a 1 mana. Do I pay the 1, Brian? Yes, I do.
What?
I get to be, I didn't put Heuristic in here, but I'm basically acting the same. Do I pay the 1? Yes. Do I pay the 1? Yes. Imagine I played it like I play again. Yeah, imagine I played it like I play Heuristic Study. Do you pay the 1 to use the ability? Nope. Won't do it. Can't be a part of it.
You don't have the...
Yeah, Brian, you want the one that you were talking about?
Yeah, so we got the Decanter of Endless Water. It's 3. You have no maximum hand size, and tap to add 1 mana of any color.
One of my favorite rocks.
Such a good card.
And I need them, Daniel.
They're never coming back in stock. Yeah, Slothy, you take this one.
Then we've got Felwar Stone, 2 mana, tap to add 1 mana of any color that a land an opponent controls could produce.
Yeah, easy 2 mana stuff. We have a Marble Diamond. It's going to enter tapped. We tap for 1 white. Again, we just need mana. We need so much mana. It's incredible.
I like the diamonds. They feel good to me, especially when they're only 2. Then the next one that we do have is Mind Stone, 2 colorless, tap to add 1 mana, 1 colorless mana to your mana pool. You can pay 1, tap it, sacrifice Mind Stone, and draw a card. What is mana but possibility?
True. An idea not yet given form.
Mm-hmm.
Then we've got Ojutai Monument. 3 mana, you can tap for white or blue, or pay 4 white and blue to have it become a 4/4 dragon with flying until end of turn.
Did I miss a whole other round of mana rocks called monuments?
Yeah, no, this is like the cons block. This is old rocks, Brian. We're in the old stuff now.
It's the olden days.
I got a lot of
I'll
rocks.
Go hunting again.
I've been really stacking up on rocks. And speaking of it, I got prismatic lenses, all of them. I got every one that exists. So it's 2 mana. You tap to add a colorless mana, or you can filter. Again, very valuable for us if we need to color fix. I can't see us needing it, but
no.
But maybe
not with the mixture between colorless and colored that you do have.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of mana fixing in the thing. We're only in 2 color. It's a pretty weak mana base. I'll give you that. But
like, what are you talking about? Your lands or the artifacts?
My lands, base? Like my lands are pretty simple. Like just quickly, where we got like an Adakar Waste, an Azorius Guildgate, Command Tower, Fortified Beachhead, Idyllic Beachfront. I've been building with a lot of the tap duels lately. Rogue's Passage, because again, we can just get some of these creatures just so big, so big, so fast.
One thing I noticed with your land section is you don't have a Reliquary Tower.
I don't have a Reliquary Tower because I've run out of them, but you should put a Reliquary Tower in this deck.
Oh, who picked up all the Reliquary Towers?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, there should be a Reliquary in there. As well, we also have just hidden in the land section, or hidden in our instant section, another land. We'll get to it when we get to it, but there's 33. You got to believe me.
I'll play with 32.
Yeah.
The next one that we do have is the other diamond. We got Sky Diamond, 2 colorless, enters the battlefield tapped, and you can tap it for a blue mana.
And then there's Soul Ring, 1 mana, tap for 2.
Obviously, we did the Soul Ring.
Yeah. Again, the more mana we can get, the better. And we do have a lot of mana available if we can get stuff like this out. We've also got a Talisman of Progress, just 2 mana. You tap to add a colorless or 1 of each color and damage to you. Again, no downside for us. We want that colorless mana a lot of the time.
Oh, 100%. I really like the Talismans for 2. I can't find enough of them, though.
I can't unsee the next card as a samurai.
I don't know why you guys keep talking about it, but I could see a sumo wrestler maybe, but we do have the Thought Vessel, 2 colorless. You have no maximum hand size and tap to add 1 colorless.
And rounding out the artifact section, we've got Thran Dynamo, 4 mana, tap for 3 colorless.
Yeah, pretty simple stuff. A lot of it is just, like I said, just basic rocks. We just need a lot of mana in this deck. You could replace that with pretty much anything that generates mana. Firemind Vessel will be great in there again. Fix your colors, but that's all right. Normally we save our creatures for last, but we're not going to. What were you going to
say? For me, like if I'm playing any of my 2 color decks, like that doesn't have green in it, This is like the typical like kind of mana package that I would like to put into the deck so I can at least have some kind of speed to it. Because I just feel if you don't have green, you do play at a little bit of a disadvantage.
Yeah. 15 is it's basically a quarter of our deck, right? So we're really, really invested in that mana, but we have an ability that's gonna trigger so many times.
And you said we're going to our creatures?
Yeah, we'll hit creatures next. I'll start with the first one we have. It's Abushan Cephaloid Emperor. 4 double blue for a 3/3 cephalid legend. Tap and untap cephalid you control. Tap target permanent. Again, great. It's going to already function how we want it to function. Passively to just tap things down and trigger that ability, be it a scry, a draw, or our Cathar's Crusade, basically. And then for 3, we can simply tap all creatures without flying.
I love me being an East Coaster. I love the flavor text here. No one can fight the tide forever.
First off, 6 mana with this ramp isn't hard.
No.
But that's an ability that we can do. We can use this cephalid kind of aggressively if we want to tap down the Voltron player or someone trying to get through with a big baddie.
Who's playing stacks here, Dan?
This is like I said, I don't understand the salt score, but we'll see. But again, that 3 mana, it's a classic staple of blue. Oh, I'm going to hold up 7 mana in your end step or Cyclonic Rift because I don't have any friends. I get it. But yeah, the ability to hold up mana like that, like we've got a fairly large interaction section, which I know this might not be the real Daniel back. It might be the imposter. But
the COVID changed Daniel's brain. He's now a better Magic player.
A better Magic player, but a substantially worse person with this list. So again, holding up that 3 mana is going to be nothing to us, and it's tapping pretty much everything. If you have a flying player, we can deal with the flying player other ways, but that 3 mana is going to hold that board down pretty aggressively.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Then we do have Ardenvale Tactician 1 and 3. It has flying as a 2/3, but you can put it in for its adventure cost, which is 1 and a white, and you tap up to 2 target creatures. I assume that's how we're going to be playing it.
And then we can still cast it as a creature later on. But basically all of these things, like let's look at this card on its face. At like its worst in our deck with a commander out. This isn't a 2 cost. This is a 4 drop. We're going to pay 2. We're going to tap 2 target creatures, and we're going to trigger our tokens twice. That's 4 mana for 8 power and 2 creatures that can't attack or block.
Yep.
Nice.
It's pretty brutal, the ability to get all of that going. And again, just to be able to, again, pump them up. Look at
for technically 4 mana, that's a lot of payoff.
It's a lot of power. If there was an instant that was 4 mana, put 2 4/4 creatures in, that's a pretty good instant. That's paying itself off really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then this just has an extra effect stapled on, which is what's written on the card.
The next one we've got here is Ballynock Trapper. 3 and a white for a 2/2 Kithkin Soldier. Tap it to tap target creature, and whenever you play a white spell, you may untap Ballynock Trapper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was playing this on Spell Table, and I was being really obnoxious. I was playing a bunch of songs from Frozen through my microphone.
Seems about right.
Yeah, someone was getting mad. I kept making Let It Go puns. It was a pretty good time. I even named the deck Tap Those Creatures or Elsa.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's a really, really fun deck to play. But man, oh man, is it real obnoxious.
You are obnoxious.
It's really, really fun to play. Like I said, it's such a fun deck. I never build like this. This isn't my normal style, but it's so fun. That ability to repeatedly just tap is great, and the untapping is also wonderful. The next is a combo, pretty good. Basically, as much mana as we have is as much as this does. Court Street Denizen is 2 and a white for a 2/2 human soldier. Whenever another white creature enters the battlefield under control, tap target creature an opponent controls. And those creatures from Hylda are white.
Nice.
So if I've got, let's say I've got 20 mana available because we're a little late game and I drop Court Street Denizen, I tap something with this Ballynock Trapper. I trigger Hylda, so I tap Brian's Scoot Swarm token number 1, and I get a 4/4, and then I tap Scoot Swarm token number 2, and then I repeat that 20 times. I've just now got 80 power through the power of friendship and Brian having tokens.
You have that crashing drawbridge to give your creatures haste.
Don't need it. Don't want it. I want to see fear.
Okay, they're Jon Snow. I don't want it.
Who's taking this next one here?
I'm next. We have Dream Shackle Geist. 1 and 2 blue. Spirit. Flying. At the beginning of combat on your turn, choose up to 1. Tap target creature. Target creature doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. And it's a 3/1. So you can basically just lock down someone's Voltron commander for game.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I think you'll greatly appreciate the next one, Slothy.
I do appreciate this one. We've got Illithid Harvester, 4 and a blue for a 4/4 horror. It's got Adventure, Plant Tadpoles, X double blue. Tap X target creatures. They don't untap during their controller's next untap step. And then the creature has, whenever Illithid Harvester enters the battlefield, turn any number of target tapped non-token creatures face down. They're 2/2 horror creatures.
My only thing, I understand like the horror
Commanders.
aspect, but every other creature that came out, they called it what it was, like a dwarf, a halfling, whatever, but they didn't classify this as a mind flayer.
Yeah, Mind Flayer horror.
Yeah.
There's lots of room in that text box. You guys know what you did.
Yeah, like I was just really surprised because I was going through like the box I picked up at Boulder's Gate, and I was like, wait a minute, so they named everything else the proper like creature type except for these guys?
Right.
I felt pretty bad about it, but spoiler alert, this is what happens at the beginning of Boulder's Gate.
True.
You basically get turned into, you start as
tadpole.
one of those guys. Yeah.
True. I love the flavor text of your bind belongs to the Emperor now, but this is for, again, I build to my meta, and maybe the way I build doesn't work for everyone, but it does work with the people I play. And the people I play with a lot of great stuff. There's a lot of people who are rocking these Avacins, these big, huge, indestructible creatures and stuff like that. And Avacin becoming a face-down 2/2 horror is hilarious.
I'm feeling attacked here, and we haven't played in like a month and a half.
There's a few cards in here specifically for you. You'll like them. Yeah, it's a really, really fun ability. Just Ixodron is another card that does that kind of thing where it turns everything face down, and it's brutal.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that card.
It's such an obnoxious card.
Mm-hmm.
We also have this Minister of Impediments, 2 and a hybrid white or blue for a 1/1, and it has just simply tap to tap target creature. It's a human advisor.
So advising. The next one here, we're only like 6 creatures in, and I don't like this.
This isn't even I said we should start here.
I know. I'm already saying I don't like it. But we got this Niblis of the Urn. Is that, Niblis? 1 and a white spirit flying. Whenever Niblis of the Urn attacks, you may tap target creature, and I need one of these guys that's a spirit.
Oh, there's a lot of good spirits in here.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me?
Then we've got Queen of Ice, 2 and a blue for a 2/3 human noble wizard.
Is this your Elsa?
No, Elsa's the commander.
This one's got a adventure. It's a sorcery. It's called Rage of Winter. 1 and a blue. Tap target creature doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. And whenever Queen of Ice deals combat damage to a creature, tap that creature, and it doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step.
You may be seeing a theme, Brian.
I am. I'm not liking it.
We our next one is again a potential partner pairing for it. This is Rhoda Geist Avenger, 3 and a white. It's got partner with Timon. This is a 3/3 with vigilance. Whenever a creature an opponent controls becomes tapped, if it isn't being declared an attacker, put a 1/1 counter on Rhoda.
I think it's big.
It could get really big really fast. And again, the ability to tap so much stuff so quickly can get you blitzed by this card if you don't pay attention to it.
Yeah, I'm not liking it. Whose turn was that? That was you, right, Dan?
Yeah, you take this next one here.
Yes. Okay. We have Shari of Numbling Depths, 2 white blue, legendary creature, merfolk wizard. When Shari of Numbing Depths enters the battlefield, tap target creature an opponent controls and put a stun counter on it. Whenever you tap 1 or more untapped creatures your opponents control, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. 2/3.
Just so you guys know, I have one of the decks that I'm in the midst of building, not with a completed one, is named Oh Sherry, You're Stunning. And it's all about blinking and constantly redoing that. It seems really right
fun. Up your alley.
Yeah, it's a good time. I love a good ETB. Again, ETB and a draw. I do like both.
Yep. Next one we've got here is Tempest Caller, 2 double blue for a 2/3 Merfolk Wizard. When it enters the battlefield, tap all creatures target opponent controls.
There's a lot of just win cons stapled into these cards, because if I have a field of creatures and you've done me wrong, for 4 mana, you have a lot of 4/4s coming at you.
Yeah.
I am the storm. It's good flavor text. Behold. We have Timon is the next one. It's the partner of Rhoda, the other, like another potential commander for this deck. 4 and a blue for a 3/4. Has partner with Rhoda. It has flying at the beginning of each combat. Tap up to 1 target creature.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Pretty cool passive.
I like that it is each combat.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have Topplegeist, 1 white, flying. Creature spirit, flying. When Topplegeist enters the battlefield, tap target creature and opponent controls. Delirium, at the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, if there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard, tap target creature that player controls.
The
next one's brutal. I'll be the first one to admit that.
The next one is Willbreaker, 3 double blue for a 2/3 human wizard. Whenever a creature an opponent controls becomes the target of a spell or ability you control, in control of that creature for as long as you control Willbreaker.
I'll give you that one's rough.
That's not that bad.
I'll give you that one's rough. Yeah. Let's crack.
Master your mind, or I shall master it for you.
Yeah, right. I'll get into our very small enchantment section. Only 8 cards at $2.73. Let's go. Who's building on a budget now, right?
Like to say boo-hoo.
Number 1, we have Betrayal. 1 blue. Play only on a creature an opponent controls. If it becomes tap, draw a card. Great to drop on someone's Birds of Paradise, Mana Dork, anything like that. But I'm forcibly tapping things anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
I like that card.
It's really cool, right?
I like that card draw.
It's a phenomenal 1-drop, especially if you're playing in a meta that's like heavy elves or heavy, like we play with a lot of like Avacyn's Pilgrims, Birds of Paradise, that kind of stuff. Bit like So being able to drop this, like if you drop a turn 1 Llanowar and I drop a Betrayal on it, I'm gonna get 4 or 5 cards out of my 1 blue.
Yeah.
That might be better, like a better turn 1 play than the Mystic Remora.
Yeah, right.
The next one that we do have is Citadel Siege, 2 and 2 white. As Citadel Siege enters the battlefield, choose cons or dragons. Cons, at the beginning of combat on your turn, put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature you control. Dragons, at the beginning of combat on each opponent's turn, tap target creature that player controls. I can see you definitely wanting cons for this one.
Both are pretty good, because we do have like a pseudo 1/1 counter theme, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Ozilus would also be great in this deck. You could really, really stack that up aggressive. Just thought of that one.
Yeah, I've been buying all of those when I found them too.
Fair.
You animal.
The next one we've got is Fall from Favor. 2 and a blue, it's an aura. Enchant creature. When it enters the battlefield, tap enchanted creature and you become the monarch. And enchanted creature doesn't untap during its controller's untap step unless that player is the monarch.
I'd love to add the monarch in.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoy the monarch mechanic in games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, solid. Yeah. Again, we're basically able to turn this into another Scry 2, draw a card, and then still get our draw at our end step with our monarch.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like it.
Like you did say at the beginning that you're able to draw a lot.
A lot, yep. We also have Narcolepsy. This is a card specifically in because I play games with Brian. Narcolepsy is 1 and a blue, enchant creature. At the beginning of each upkeep, if enchanted creature is untapped, tap it. You Seedborn away, my friend. I'm just helping you. We're working as a team. You untap Seedborn, I retap Seedborn. Who's to say who's right?
Exactly.
I don't like it. Then we do have
Palatial?
Palatial?
I think Palatial Accord, Alan.
Palatial Accord, 3 white and a blue. I want a monster now. Or no, that's not even a monster. That's a sprite. Well, I want a monster nonetheless. Enchantment. Whenever a creature an opponent controls becomes tapped, put a shield counter on Palatial Accord. Remove a shield counter from Palatial Accord. Prevent the next 1 damage that will be dealt to you this turn.
Pretty cool.
Yep.
Daniel has to die.
There we go.
The next one is Solitary Sanctuary, 2 and a white. When it enters the battlefield, tap target creature an opponent controls and put a stun counter on it. And whenever you tap an untapped creature an opponent controls, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control.
Again, we can pretty easily commander damage someone in this deck. It's pretty funny that it's just passively so aggressive in the 1/1 counter theme.
Mm-hmm.
This is another one
and
from
the draw.
Well, yeah, that's very true. It is.
Yeah.
Teferi's Ageless Insight. You could go many directions with this. I just went floating the board with tokens and being obnoxious, and I think we've really accomplished that goal.
No.
And I think we've accomplished that goal. We have a saga here. Time of Ice. 3 and a blue. Tap and its first and second are tap target creature and opponent controls. It doesn't untap during its untap step for as long as you control it. It's -3. Return all tapped creatures to their owner's hands. That's a pretty brutal one to get off, especially because it's in your upkeep. So you're already getting your untap off. You're not really affected by this.
Mm-hmm.
A nice little fair bounce, you know.
I'm just gonna tell you, I'm gonna put Elsa's face on you for this entire video.
That's fine. Whatever works. I was gonna say I really want to get an altar of every card in this in like the theme of the movie Frozen, so that I can just be really annoying when I'm like playing these. Like I'll be like, I'll be doing stuff like Solitary Sanctuary where I'm dropping things into untap, and I'm like, oh, but it's Olaf the Snowman, and I was like, what's wrong with you?
So many things.
Me just singing the whole game. Please stop. Please, Daniel. I want to go home.
The next one that we have here is Verity Circle. It's too early, guys. We got 2 and a blue. Whenever a creature an opponent controls becomes tapped, if it isn't being declared as an attacker, you may draw a card. Man, you got so much draw in here. 4 and a blue, tap target creature without flying.
Yeah, like you really should have a Reliquary Tower in this deck. That's a miss on my head. I'll put one in. I'll go take it out of a different deck.
Here, there is only truth.
It's true. There is only truth. And the truth is that for once, I have a few instants and sorceries in a deck.
You do. I'm proud of you.
It's and
You've
what
come a long way since I met you.
And what a price tag on those instants, $16.
The funny thing is that that's your most expensive section by a
hilarious
amount.
Hilarious, right?
The 2 cards that you're already missing.
Yeah, they don't go in every deck, Brian.
Force of Negation and Force of Will.
Oh no, I'm not talking about like a Chroma's Monument, Daniel, or like you said the other time. The removal cards.
Yeah, I know. I don't need to remove things. I would much rather be obnoxious with them.
I have player removal. That's the best removal.
I have player annoyance. It's much better. Why?
That's all you want to come out here to do.
Oh, so how many times in your game that you played did you tell your opponents they just need to let it go with you singing?
So much. I kept saying, I was just like, you guys are just gonna have to let this one go. But anyways, and then like
let it go.
Yeah,
let it go.
It was pretty rough. I was playing it through the speakers. Probably if I had a jar on my desk that I had to put $1 in every time, I would have filled it with. And when people are saying really, just a really jar, just really. We have Aether Shockwave, something that we want to dump all of the mana available that we have into it at our end step, or use it defensively. But I generally use this for just this can be a game ender if you've got a lot of mana at the end of the game. Aether Shockwave's 3 and a white instant. Choose one. You tap all spirits or tap all non-spirits. You're going into your. It's very frequent that between my 3 opponents, they're going to have 20 creatures.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And 10 creatures is enough to kill people with our creature token generation. So if I can muster up 14 mana, which isn't a crazy game end, I can just trigger this like repeatedly and have 40 damage on board. That's not going to be blocked. Oh, and the fun thing is a lot of these ones aren't targeting specific things. Shroud Away, my friend.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't like you sometimes.
It's a pretty good one. There's another fun thing is that the like are some of our things like Rhoda. We have a lot of spirits in this deck, right?
Yep.
So a bunch of those are actually going to stay untapped, and they could turn out to be very huge with the 1/1 counter theme as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get to pick.
Yep.
So like, yeah.
I like it.
Especially if you get them big with the +1/+1s, and then you go, I'm just going to untap or tap all non-spirits, and then bunk.
Right?
Bunk, bunk, bunk.
I think you'll like the next one too, Brian.
Yeah, I was just about to get onto that one. We got a Chroma's Blessing here. Oh, I have seen this one. I used to play it this time. 2 and a white. Creatures you control gain protection from the color of your choice until end of turn. Cycling. 1 planes. I totally forgot about it though.
So again,
I do remember it.
That's again a great game end.
Yeah, especially if you're up against one person and they're monocolored. I gain protection from your only color.
Yep.
Womp womp.
Speaking of game ends, got Bluster
We've got a
Squall.
Storm.
1 blue, tap target creature you don't control, and it's got Overload for 3 and a blue.
I'll tell you right now, you're not going to Voltron this deck. It's not going to happen.
No.
But again, another
is more predictable than is it?
It's another just great mana sink.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is like handy down or like smaller Cyclonic Rift, but a tap.
Well, it's just tap. You don't have to recast them. You'll probably die at the end of it. But again, I would much rather, because most of these things that I'm going to be playing, that I'm not going to Bluster Squall defensively a lot of times, unless I'm against an overwhelming amount of tokens and I need to try get me another turn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A lot of times I'm going to be using these kind of like X spells, where it's like 4 is the tap everything. It's like 4 and X, and then X is me making an immense amount of tokens or drawing to another answer kind of thing. I didn't put a ton of removal in this deck, as you mentioned. There's not really a bunch of things that destroy creatures. There's a few exiles, nothing too wild, but a lot of it is just like, you can have your creatures, that's fine, but you can't use them for anything.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to attack me with them. It's a very good thing to also be able to just threaten people and just be like, you can if you threaten to attack me or you blow something up, I'm just going to tap you for the rest of the game.
That's a mean person.
I only politics with violence.
It's the only way to politic.
Yeah, right.
He only wants problems. He's made this very clear.
We also have this Chilling Grasp, 2 and a blue. You can tap up to 2 target creatures. They skip and untap, and it's got Madness. So if you've overdrawn, you throw it out. It's nice that you can cast it on the way out.
Mm-hmm.
That's some awesome looking art.
Pretty cool, right?
Then we have Cryptic Command, 1, 3 blue, instant. Choose 2. Counter target spell or return target permanent to its owner's hand, or tap all creatures your opponents control, or draw a card.
You really don't see this card enough anymore. It's a great card.
Mm-mm.
It was super expensive if I remember correctly.
Yeah, they really brought the price down. It was, what was it reprinted in? It was a list card.
Yeah.
Definitely a very good reprint, because it's a great card, and especially for what we're doing in this. That's I love options. I love all the modes.
And you can pick 2 of like 4 or 5.
Yeah, right.
Then we've got Deluge, 2 and a blue, tap all creatures without flooding.
True. The flavor text as well is from our Emperor Abushan.
From the sea came all life, and to the sea will return, the sooner the better.
Flood,
Can't fight that tide.
Flood. Yeah, right. We have Downpour, which is, again, I'm just looking as a 5-drop. It's 2, but I'm spending 5 on it. Tap up to 3 target creatures.
Elk being washed away.
That's again, like I said, if this card was just printed as 5 mana, make 3/4/4s tap 3 creatures, this would be a blue staple.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, it's a lot of payoff. Like I'm really like
1 mana for
excited.
a 4/4 is it's just cracked. It's just a nuts ability to be able to get that. If this made 1/1 creatures, I would still run this deck the exact same way.
Yep, flood it.
And again, 1/1 creatures would make sense because I could make my little board of stuff. I could 1/1 counters them. No, they're like, we're starting at 4/4. You with 1 mana, what are you talking about? It's all good. Can't see how this could go wrong.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry.
4/4 is a big creature. That's a sizable creature in EDH.
Mm-hmm.
I get scared when I see 4/4 come out on Arena. I'm like, oh, well, I'm screwed.
Right? Yeah, like it's so. Like I said, when you're looking at these, we're basically just we're also taxing us, but we're taxing us aggressively in a good sense.
You're getting payoff from your taxes.
Again, if any of these things were just written how I'm using the commander, of pay 5, tap 3 creatures, scry 2 and draw a card 3 times, or pay 5, tap 3 creatures, put 3/1/1 counters on each creature you control. Even a 5 mana instant that just put 3/1/1 counters on each creature you control. That's a disgusting instant to be able to hold up when someone thinks they can get through your board of little weenies.
Right?
Yeah, like it's just this commander enables just like I said, a bunch of garbage cards to really, really shine.
I think that's the nice thing about Commander, that playing certain commanders or having that theme, right, really opens up certain cards to shine, when really, if you're playing like standard, it could just look like trash.
Yeah. It's
like this card doesn't have any payoff.
It's very fun to see a commander that comes out that just gives a home to a bunch of stuff. That's all right. It's like fringe playable, but like you'd see it in a in a very, very budget, like, okay, this is a shell you can make thing, right? But like, look at the next card. Brian, you take this one.
Yeah, we got Ensnare, 3 and a blue. You may return 2 islands you control to their owner's hand instead of paying the Ensnare's mana cost. Tap all creatures. So return 2 islands, tap it all.
Yeah, that's not gonna. That's again offense or defense. We're ending the game with this. I'm tapping those 2 mana, and I'm still that 2 mana is turning into 8 power of creatures at least. So putting it back in my hand, okay.
Yeah.
Then we've got Feeling of Dread. 1 and a white, tap up to 2 target creatures, and it has flashback for 1 and a blue.
Solid. It's doing all the things we want.
Yep.
We have Giga Drowse, 1 blue with replicate of 1 blue. Tap target permanent. Very, very fun to in people's upkeep if you have the mana available. Tap all their lands. Why not?
Yeah.
We don't have to do just creatures here. It's funny. Ha 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 ha.
Who hurt you?
Everyone I play with.
We have Resculpt, which is 1 and a blue. Exile target artifact or creature. Its controller creates a 4/4 blue and red elemental.
I'm making 4/4s for everyone.
Everybody got a 4/4.
I make elementals. Your Avacyn becomes an elemental.
No.
It's a secret elemental themed deck.
No.
I don't like those.
Then we've got Sajiri Shelter. 1 and a white. Target creature you control gains protection from the color of your choice until end of turn. And on the back side, it is a tap land that can tap for white.
Yeah, I told you there's 33 lands in here. We're good.
When I was looking at that card name in the list, I was like, did I accidentally pull like a foreign card?
Yeah. Did I have a stroke?
Yeah, I was like, what is this?
We've also got Shelter, target creature. Pretty quickly, here's the real truth of this. Pretty quickly, your commander is going to be the biggest target for removal. But I've stacked I've stacked so much mana in here that it doesn't really matter. All you're gonna do is make me angry. But while I do try to protect it, all these cards are to try to protect it. It shelters 1 and a white for target creature you control gains pro the color of your choice until end of turn. You draw a card. I like it.
Good strategist sees opportunities. Great strategy. Strategists make their own. Then we got Shore Up. 1 blue. Target creature you control gets +1/+1 and gains hexproof until end of turn. Untap it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need more of those.
Shore Up's a great card.
Then we've got Turnabout. 2 double blue. Choose artifact, creature, or land. Tap all untapped permanents of the chosen type target player controls. Or untap all tap permanents of that type that player controls.
The best cure for a big ego is a little failure.
This is an interesting one because it does a lot. We've all seen it untap our lands. That's great. But you can use this we have a lot of tap everything, right? So this already fits into what we're doing. It's right at that 4 mana spot where it's a 4 mana X spell in this deck, right? But we can also use it to, if I've got that, let's say I ensnare, I return my 2 islands after tapping them, tap all my other mana, and then I turn about to untap it. That's going to hit that 20-30 mana mark really, really quickly that I want to hit to pay for all of my tapping. The more creatures on board, the better it is.
You can also tap everybody else's lands.
Oh, that's funny, yeah.
On their upkeep.
Yeah, I could tap. Yeah, Brian goes to upkeep, turnabout.
I don't like you.
I actually hadn't even considered that one as a land tapper because I had other plans for it, but that is also hilarious.
Who hurt you people?
So many people. Everyone in my life. Everyone in my life. I like that this deck has so many different modes on cards, right? Turnabout full of modes. Our commander full of modes. Our cryptic command full of modes. You see a guard approach, the next card in the list, also has modes. This deck's all about choices. And the choice is, how much do you want to get along with me for the night? Because I can be real aggressive with these choices.
I can take you out for dinner or a movie.
There you go. Brian's not getting tapped. Or is he? Anyways. Yes. You see a guard approach is 1 blue is an instant. You can choose one. You distract the guard, which is tap target creature. It's what we want. Or you can hide target creature you control gains hexproof until end of turn. Again, that's a card that should be in more decks.
I wasn't here for this one, or it would.
It's a cool one, right?
So that was the end of the instances, and I do like them actually. That was a good section. Should we hit your ones planeswalker, or is that waiting for the end?
No, go ahead, take it, please.
So the ones planeswalker that we got here is Tameo the Moon Sage, 3/2 blue, legendary planeswalker Tameo. +1, tap target permanent. It doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. -2, draw a card for each tapped creature target player controls. Oh, I'm not even liking this already. Or -8, you get an emblem with you have no maximum hand size, and whenever a card is put into your graveyard from anywhere, you may return it to your hand. I like that. I like those type of abilities.
Yeah.
Sun and Moon.
But do you know how obnoxious that is to keep getting my tap everything card? Keep getting turnabout, and just for the rest of the game, do nothing but tap your lands. It's not about winning. Sometimes it's just about making sure your lands never leave your upkeep.
It's all about making a statement.
Yeah. You got to set the world on fire sometimes, you know? Yeah, this old Tamiyo is pretty cool. And again, another great reprint, bringing it down to $5. Probably one of the most expensive cards in the list.
Yeah, if it was only $60, that's like a...
Right. It's a pretty good one.
112 for the deck right there.
Yeah.
Do you want to take us away with some of these instants here, or these sorceries, Slothy?
Sure.
A lot of S's.
So our first sorcery here is Blinding Light, 2 and a white, tap all non-white creatures.
Nice game end.
Mm-hmm. And that avoids tapping all your 4/4s.
Yep.
You know what? I think if you really want to go the obnoxious route, I don't know if you even considered this creature, but Blinding Angel.
Yeah, Blinding Angel is a really good one too. Another just enters, taps everything.
Because it doesn't. It every combat, and then it taps the person, and then they don't get a combat again.
Blinding Angel. Oh, if I hit them, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. That's funny. I was thinking Sunblast Angel might be the other one. The enters, destroys all the tapped. That's another good option. We have Bond of Discipline, 4 and a white. Tap all creatures your opponents control. Creatures you control gain lifelink until out of turn. That's disgusting.
I like lifelink.
That's a lot of life to get back. 4/4 is pretty big.
Whatever.
Yeah, 4/4 is pretty big.
If it's 4 times 4, that's 12 life.
Right.
Then we have Borrowing 100,000 arrows, 2 and a blue. Draw a card for each tapped creature target opponent controls. A lot of arrows.
Yeah, right. Pretty good.
They'll return them. It's okay.
They did return them.
Next one we've got here is Breaking Wave, 2 double blue. You could play Breaking Wave anytime. You can play an instant if you pay 2 more for it, and then untap all creatures that are tapped and tap all untapped creatures. Simultaneously is not really a word you hear in those text boxes anymore.
Right.
I think that they should do more of those cards. You pay more and change it from a sorcery to an instant. I like that utility.
Again, it's just another option in the deck.
Yep.
We also have Cone of Cold. Pretty fun. 3 and a white. You roll a d20. 1 to 9, you tap all creatures your opponents control. Where our worst roll is doing exactly what I want to do at that 4 mana cost that I'm happy to pay. Our 10 to 19 is tap all creatures your opponents control. They don't untap, which is rough.
That's good.
That's really, really rough. That's a pretty good roll to try hit. You got good odds there, right? You hit your nat 20. Tap all creatures your opponents control. They don't untap during their controller's next untap step until your next turn. Creatures they control enter tapped.
Ooh.
Yeah, we're not losing out in any way in any of these rolls.
No, that's an incredibly solid card for this deck.
Yeah, right. Like, and again, it's just a 35-cent potential game ender. Potential. All right, it's time to wrap this bad boy up.
The next one here that we do have is Hidden Strings, 1 and a blue sorcery. You may tap or untap target permanent, then you may tap or untap another target permanent as Cipher.
Which is?
I have no idea. Then you may exile this spell card encoded on a creature you control. Whenever that creature deals combat damage to a player, its controller may cast a copy of the encoded card without paying its mana cost. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, we can just consistently keep hitting it.
Cipher's a cool mechanic.
I, by the way, am ashamed that I haven't spent the whole episode telling people to tap the like button and to tap the share button. Do it.
Tap it.
Do it now, yes. Slothy, take the next one, please.
Yeah, we've got Impede Momentum, 1 and a blue. Tap target creature and put 3 stun counters on it. And Scribe one. 3 stun counters is rough.
Taking a card out of the game for 3 turns is brutal.
Could be 4 if it doesn't untap during its next untap step.
Yep. It's rough. It's a rough one for sure. We've got this,
or could be for in infinite if you have proliferate.
Yeah, that is true. That's rough. I would love to make stunning Atraxa deck. That the whole point was just proliferating stun counters onto things. That'd be brutal.
That would be brutal.
There's it's not a good deck, but it's doing what I want. We have
a good deck, but stun deck.
Yeah, exactly. It's not good. It's stunning. We have Raven Form, 2 and a blue. You exile target creature or artifact. Its controller gets a 1/1 blue bird creature, and you can foretell it for 1.
I like this one.
I love Raven Form. It's blue exile is pretty cool. Curse of Swine also great in this deck. Turn everything to pigs, but I like this one a lot.
Swine? Then we got Regina's Sanction.
Regna, you animal.
Sorry,
one of my favorite characters. I love Regna.
She's Regina now.
Regina.
Regna Sanction 3 and white. For each player, choose friend or foe. Each friend puts a +1/+1 counter on each creature they control. Each foe chooses the one untapped creature they control, then tap the rest.
This card was made for this commander.
We're friends, right, Dan?
Yeah, exactly. Like I told you, it's all about choice and who wants to be my friend.
Are you cheating on me?
Yes.
And then the flavor text in this is just such a good one. It's show them the light, my love. It's Krav the unredeemed. It's that's a pretty rough thing. You want to be shown the light with all of these 1/1s?
No.
It's really fun as well because I'm obviously going to choose friend to myself. So we're getting our normal ability. But I can really, really pump that up by even just having one foe. Even one foe in this thing is going to be like, all right, I'll pay 5 as well and put 6 1/1 counters on this. 6 1/1 counters on all my creatures and the 1/1 from the friend. It's definitely doing what we want to do.
Yeah.
So mean.
Then we've got Sleep. 2 double blue. Tap all creatures target player controls, and they don't untap during the next untap step.
Yeah, that's mean.
Yeah. It's a lot. Like I said, a lot of it is choosing to be my friend. I'm still tapping the cards, but we can be friends while I do it. Then it's,
I was going to say there's no option. Like a lot of these are all opponents. There's no politics.
Right? The politics are I must. It's for the will of the people. Theft of Dreams. It's my subjects demand it. You understand? Theft of Dreams is our final one in this. It's 2 and a blue. For each tap creature your opponent has in play, you draw a card. It is target opponent, not opponents. But again, that's going to draw us a lot of cards.
Didn't know you were the big friendly giant stealing dreams from people.
Exactly. You get it. But yeah, this is, again, I've been building a lot of budget stuff lately.
I very much enjoy this one.
It's, like I said, for its price tag, I think that it's got just a lot of really bang for its buck.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's a token, an Azorius token deck is not often what you see.
No, and that's the how I kind of like to go around things is, do you see a lot of these, or is it a theme that people just haven't seen before? Because I think I find it, you can throw people on guard by playing something that they haven't seen, because they're not 100% sure what to expect from it.
Yeah. Well, like I said, this deck, even without your commander, you're still able to kind of defend yourself until you can get that commander back out, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's just a lot of cool things you can do with this deck. If you get like Kenrith transformation and stuff, then your only goal is to now wreck the game for the player who's done it to you. You know?
Yeah.
We don't have much get rid of things. And
you have the best get rid of things. You have the best player removal, but not if your commander's
frustration.
You don't have boots.
No, I know. So there is a lot of stuff you could upgrade. Number one, it is really, really funny to if you can get that the Illithid Harvester off and do it to people's commanders. They can't choose to send them to the command zone for being turned face down. And that's really, really rough to trap someone's down. So mine could also get hit by something like that, which is pretty rough. Yeah, I would say like the general upgrades for this would be you just tone down the level of salt in the taps. Like take some of our tap alls out and replace them with kind of the staples you'd see, like you said, your boots, your Swiftfoot boots, some swords to Plowshare, a counter spell or two kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Tap the Exile.
I'd put a mana leak in here. I'm allowed to pay when I do things. They're allowed to pay when they do things. You know? Again, like things like Authority of the Consuls, if you really wanted to like slow people actually down. Any sack outlet generating card, like a what's the one where you sack and they mill based on the power?
Altar of Dementia.
Altar of Dementia in this, a wild card. You know what I mean? For one, we're making 4 mana.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a ton of upgrades. Again, obviously, Mondrak. Mondrak would be a monster upgrade into a deck like this.
Yeah, Mondrak, Anointed Procession.
Yeah, there's lots you can do with this. I just think it's a really, really fun deck.
Generous gifts.
There's the new one, too.
Elish Norn.
Yeah, Elish Norn would be good.
Yeah.
The original one.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, make all these 6/6s.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of like really cool stuff you can do. I think as it sits, it's a super fun deck. I don't think I'll ever change it from how it's sitting. I think this is just a set in stone deck for me because I like to have a nice budget thing, right? Like this, I could take this into a budget league. So it's a $63 deck. I'm not violating budget restrictions.
Yeah.
Even if I had to remove 1 or 2 cards like the Tameo for being $5, you know? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Oversold.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's like I said, I was really happy with how it performed. I was really excited to build this one. It was fun start to finish putting together and playing.
And there's a lot of cards that you don't see playing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I haven't seen really. Well, I've seen some of these cards, but not. I'd probably say a good 85% of your deck.
Yeah, it's a weird list.
Cards that you typically see. Yeah,
I've never seen someone cast a Feeling of Dread.
I never saw the Ithelwood.
The Ithelwood's pretty cool. Yeah, like I said, I do always like to know what other people would put in a deck like this because there's so many different ways. Again, this commander enables so much.
Mm-hmm.
So much. Just that scry 2 draw a card would make this a monster draw theme deck as well. Yeah,
you could probably even do it like self-mill if you really want to.
Yep. If you went hard into the 1/1 counter theme deck and you got the Felidar Retreat, Cathar's Crusade, that kind of stuff, again, just monster.
You could put Eligeth in here.
Which one's that?
4 double blue, 5/6 legendary Sphinx. If you would scry a number of cards, draw that many instead.
Yep, that's a great one. It's got partner, right?
It does.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool one. That would be really, again, pay 1, draw 3.
And draw 2, then draw a card.
Right. Oh yeah, and if you had like a Teferi's Ageless Inside Out, that would be also like a draw 4, then draw 2.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of cool. Like I said, there's a lot of fun stuff to do it. There's many different ways to go. I just think this is if you were to build a deck for someone as like hey, I'm going to gift a new player something and show them a little, like, a lot of times I like to, when people start out, I like to get them playing like an elf deck kind of thing. It's really, really easy to understand an elf deck. But then I like to give them different archetypes to try. And one of the ones I like to give is a token deck. A token themed deck is really, really fun to play. It's really part of EDH that I think is a great time is being able to flood the board with lots of tokens and just, like you just feel like you're on top of the world when you control the board state with that, right? No one can attack into your monster field. It's really, really fun. And I think new players really resonate with those bigger, sillier board states. I also like to do like a big like Timmy deck, teach them that. So it's got like good ramp and then big dinosaur creatures, kind of those things.
Beasts.
But, yeah, exactly. Like I like to do that, but this is a deck that you could put together really easily for a friend. You could take it into pretty reasonable metas and stuff. It's not gonna again, you're
I don't think there's a lot of triggers either that would confuse them greatly.
Yeah, because it's you doing it, right? It's not things to remember. It's just here you go.
And a lot of it's stapled on your cards already. So how would I describe it? Like all of your stuff says tap.
Yeah.
So it's all really easy to follow.
Yeah, right.
And it's really only one creature that's triggering as your commander.
Exactly.
Yeah, you don't have to keep track of too many states with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just think it's fun. But again, this is a deck that I'd be happy to just like lend out to a friend or someone new, being like, I'd like to try a different kind of deck. It's $63. Slap that bad boy off the table for all I care. I'm not even going to sleeve this one. No, it is sleeved. It looks great. It's sleeved in purple sleeves and it looks beautiful.
Would Elsa approve?
Oh yeah, for sure. It's a pretty looking deck. We know for sure that the thumbnail is going to be my face on Hylda. We're all aware of that already. It's going to be funny.
Got a great bod, Dan.
Yeah. Huh?
Said you had a great bod.
Yeah, there you go. Wow, you're looking trim after you were sick.
No energy, can't eat. Daniel, man, you look.
I will end us there. There we go. I'm just going to cut that last part. Anyone who hears that in the video, I'm sorry. Brian will cut it there too. Thank you guys so much for getting to the end of the episode. I want to know what you would have done with this commander. Do you think it's as strong as I think it is? I think it's insane. And I really like the list I put together. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe. Like I said, the whole episode, I should have been saying tap that share button, tap that like button. It really does help us out to get noticed. Is the easiest way to support us. It costs you nothing. And if you want to support us more, come hang out with us on Patreon and stuff. There's a really good chat room full of people. We're going to start doing a lot of patron hangouts. We're going to start streaming with people. It's going to be a good time. We've got lots of great stuff in the work, and it's just really fun to talk to everyone in the chat about what's going on in the decks they're building and stuff. So come join us there if you like it. If not, all of our content is on the website. We've got phenomenal articles. We've got lots of videos, gameplay, deck techs. Yeah, that's pretty much all. That's what we got going on.
And thank you to Strange Ronin, Whipsaw, and Thunder Emperor Command.
Oh, and yeah, another patron.
Don't know the new person.
Yeah, we got that notice this morning when we woke up. Yeah, so thanks for everyone.
You know who you are.
You'll get a proper thank you. Oh, and then the last thing is that if you're in Calgary and stuff, we're going to be doing the face-to-face event coming up next month. So come hang
29th
out.
to October 1st.
Yeah, I'm going to be playing a lot of Commander that day. I'm going to be doing top to bottom games, and we're going to be streaming games. So if you ever want to come and beat me on stream and see how salty I actually get behind the camera, go ahead and come show me why my ways are wrong. Teach me a lesson. And that's it. And everyone that's still here, thanks for getting there.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
See you later.
All right, this is for everyone who is still here. You're still great. Okay, now bye.
You guys are awesome.